Okay, so midnight thoughts. It's been a few hours since I posted the Patreon video. Sorry, I'm talking with my retainer in, so that makes it a bit hard. Yeah, so it's a few hours after I posted the Patreon video, and a few days since I filmed it, I think. And I can't even remember. And I think I'm also getting a bit dissociated as I'm talking. Like, I have the experience of talking, but I also feel disconnected from it right now. And I think disconnection is the whole topic of why I'm lying in bed just mumbling. Because, yeah, I already feel really detached from that video. And it's just, I don't know, it's a weird sort of feeling. I think I made it worse for myself, though, because when I was checking it today, to make sure I actually wanted to post it, because I started thinking, oh, I don't know, that was a weird day. I forgot to take my pill, and I forgot to use the nasal spray. Didn't realize until later in the day, so I think I was in a bit of a weird mood, and probably the hay fever starting to play up and my head feeling squeezed, and it still kind of feels a bit squeezed. Yeah, that was a weird day, and like everything got cancelled that day, and so I think that's why I forgot stuff. And I know I don't even know what direction I'm talking in. But so yeah, it was a weird sort of a day, and then I'm like, well, I'm not going anywhere, I might as well film the thing. And I can't even remember. Like, I can remember filming it, but I can't remember, um I don't know, I just feel disconnected from it. It's hard to describe. Like, yeah, I did the thing, but I don't feel attached to it. And I think also maybe the novelty has worn off. Like, yeah, it was funny turning my Patreon into a cult, and I was still amused by it, I guess, when I was making the video. But now I'm like, that's done. Now what? The usual problem, isn't it? I finish a thing, and then the question is, now what? And nothing really feels satisfying. Yeah, I get bored of things, get over things too quickly. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's kind of, I am having a bit of I think depersonalization as I film. Oh, but yeah, so I feel disconnected from when I was filming that. Perhaps more than I would usually feel disconnected from things I've done in the past, because I'm not very good at. I don't have like a strong sense of self-continuity, maybe. Uh, yeah, and then also today, okay, so the two things, apart from forgetting all the medications, I think the two things that maybe made me feel more disconnected is, on the one hand, I got someone commenting on my original SPD video saying, "Ooh, you present too well to have SPD." And, saying some inaccurate things about the criteria. Um, and claiming that, it's not possible to be covert schizoid. And just making the usual kinds of claims. I mean, honestly, oh, so many people complain that social media is too fake, but then they go out and believe everything they see at face value anyway. Couldn't possibly imagine that my life is different to how I appear on the surface in a lot of videos. I just, oh my god, really? Why can't you understand that? Anyway, oh god, there were so many things that there were so many points that needed addressing, and yeah, I spent too much time on it. I just went into that sort of obsessive quest finishing mode. If you remember my video about why I answer YouTube comments. Sometimes I wonder if I should just not answer anyone, but I don't know. Feels unfinished. But yeah, so that put me into like one mode of thinking. And then when I was reviewing the Patreon video, I think the problem with that is I put it into double speed. And so like, I think I was maybe a little bit more energetic that day. But when you put it into double speed, it makes it even more energetic seeming. And it's always funny when you come out of double speed and watch it in single speed and suddenly everything feels so damn slow. But that's the only way I can watch myself. Like, I already had to edit the video, and watch myself in single speed once. I don't want to do it again when I'm just checking the final render for YouTube, so I put it in double speed. Oh my god. But yeah, I struggle to watch myself, and then the video being a few days old by then on my end, yeah, the increase in how disconnected I am from that version of me. Yeah. I don't know. I know this isn't a very good video because I'm just sort of mumbling and I don't know what I'm saying and I'm too tired to structure my thoughts. But yeah, that whole energy. And today, oh, that's the other thing is I woke up at like 5 this morning with really terrible stomach pain and had to go to the toilet. And it's sort of been like that a lot today. So I think my stomach being off hasn't helped with the sense of disconnection, detachment, depersonalization, maybe. Try not to vocal fry, but I just feel like that, eh? But yeah, so I was a bit out of it today, and that's why I let myself spend so much time on that, replying to that comment, because, my brain was not in a good place to be properly productive, so it was just like, oh, let's respond to the idiot. And we'll just go through point by point. And get carried away with that. I guess maybe it's sort of meditative in a way, but in my own weird way, because I know that's not how meditation's supposed to work, but it's like a thing where I can't focus on anything. Let's go for this, which doesn't mean much. And then hopefully I'll sleep better tonight and get on to focusing on things that I apparently do care more about, which I can't even understand why I do anything. I'm having some of that existential stuff, existential thoughts, and like, why am I alive? And with the stomach issues overnight, I realized that yesterday I didn't have any Yakult or yogurt, which, presumably have been helping with probiotics, and I haven't had any Metamucil for a while, and maybe that's why my stomach went off, or maybe I just ate the wrong thing again. I don't know. Stupid stomach issues are not helpful. Where was I going with that? Oh, well, yeah, the existential stuff, right? So if it is to do with the probiotic thing, then, like that's one more thing that I have to remember, like forgetting my pill and the nasal spray the other day, which are both things I need to be on long term. And then now it seems like I have to always have some kind of probiotic food. Maybe. I still haven't done that poo test I'm supposed to do just to make sure there's no inflammatory issues, or I don't know. But I figure I probably shouldn't do it while I'm actually having a upset stomach. I should try and wait, because we're trying to get like a picture of what I'm normally like, not a picture of when I'm having issues, or I don't know, like the upset. I don't know if I'm making sense. Will I even post this? Probably by the time I watch it, I'm gonna be disconnected from this video. I mean, I'm already a little bit disconnected just filming it, because I'm like watching myself talk from inside myself, and it's bizarre. But yeah, so existential stuff. There's just more and more stuff that I have to remember in terms of like health, And then I can't keep track of all the creative things I'm doing. I have to keep writing lists anytime I get an idea, otherwise I will forget and remember later at an inconvenient time and be like, oh, I should have done that earlier. And then never mind like handling life stuff. Like just regular life stuff. Like I've still got to pick up my passport. And the because like the passport office sent me a email saying it's ready to pick up at your nominated post office, but I didn't nominate a post office, so I went to the one that I lodged it at, and they said, oh, it's not ready yet, wait for a email from us, and they haven't sent me an email. And she said it would only be like hopefully a day, but maybe next week, and next week has already passed. And she didn't even check in any kind of system. So I'm just like, I don't know what's going on with that, and why is everything so difficult? Like, if people were doing things right, if systems were right, this wouldn't be an issue. They just send it to me like the last one, instead of making me line up to pick it up again and leave the house and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so that's like a life thing. There's passports. You need passports for ID. And then if I have to go to Japan in a couple years for family stuff, and like I don't even that's enough for me to be like, oh my god, really? And then what else do I do? I guess like dealing with Centrelink is always stressful. And God, I haven't even gotten over my petrol station anxiety, which I'm gonna have to do if I end up needing to drive more. And I mean, I should just get over that anxiety anyway. Like, at the moment, I can't fill up petrol in the car. I used to, but now I'm just like, I can't fucking do it. So my brother fills the car up for me. I mean, he uses it most of the time anyway, but one day a week I need to drive to work, and so he'll make sure that there's enough petrol there for me. Like these basic things that other people can handle, and I'm just like, I fucking can't. And I live with my parents. They look after like all the adult stuff, and I'm just stuck in this permanent teenager mode. And yeah, like there's so many things already that I can't handle, and then eventually like my parents aren't going to be around to look after me forever. What am I going to do then? Uh, and I'm already like, it's already too much. So yeah, I've sort of had that. Why do I have to stay alive through all this? My body is slowly deteriorating because, I'm getting old. My eyesight's been off more. Like, even just, like, writing that comment today, I noticed, ooh, and, like, when I've been working on bonsai, looking up close and then looking far away, I've already got that slow adjustment thing going on. Oh, yeah, everything's getting so hard, and it's like, why do I have to stay alive through all this? I'm gonna die eventually anyway, like, why isn't there some option for me to just say, like, I'm not into this, like, why bother keeping me alive kind of thing? And it's not that I'm upset, it's just that I don't think it's logical. Like, if I'm not enjoying life, why prolong the misery? I'm gonna die eventually anyway. Why, the only way I can get out, under Australian law, really, is if I take some horrible risk to kill myself, which I don't want to do. I'd rather have a medically supervised, easy way out, painless, guaranteed, all that kind of stuff. But you can't get that here. I'd have to go to Europe or something. And I fucking hate sitting on planes. Yeah, just, I already can't look after myself. And I feel like I have no future. I mean, there's still the possibility that life will get better, but, I don't know what my chances are. I mean, the world is like a big mess. We're out of that, like, the whole peacetime that a lot of us grew up with, relative peacetime, because there's always something going on somewhere in the world. But yeah, that sort of stability, relative stability, is a very odd time in human history, and now we're back to instability and war, and things are increasingly getting all out of whack. So there's that aspect of things, but then also things just in my small slice of the world. I think since I can't take antidepressants, there's nothing that's helping me actually feel anything. I don't know though, because I think when I was younger, maybe I had things that motivated me for short periods of time. But I think I've always been like I was saying about the Patreon update, that amused me for a short period, but now I'm already over it. So I think I've never been great at clinging to an interest. And if I stuck to something, it was often because I felt an obligation to. Like, I did ballet and tap and gymnastics, but then I'd quit everything. And so by the time I took up violin, my parents were sort of like, "Are you going to stick to this one this time?" And I said yes. And then I felt like I had to stick to it, even though I did get bored of it pretty early on and didn't practice much. So, there has been a pattern of that in my life where I'd get pretty into something for a short burst and then just lose interest once the novelty wears off. So yeah, I'm not sure if I've lost feeling over time, or if the antidepressants might have actually helped for a few years there, apart from, destroying my appetite and eventually leading me onto that liquid diet. Which, yeah, all the fucking side effects. I would take medications if I didn't have all those side effects, because I think it probably did help. But yeah, so I'm either becoming increasingly numb with age, or I needed to be on those medications and now I can't take them. And so regardless of which one it is, I have the sense that I'm not going to be able to reach a point where I enjoy much of life again. Or I'm excited in some way. Have I ever really enjoyed life? It's hard to say, but I'm sure I used to be excited about things. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really see that in my future, being able to. Oh shit, I'm just getting into depersonalization again. It's like anytime I notice that I'm talking, and then my brain's just like, whoa. Yeah, so I don't know, I just don't feel like I have a future. I mean, obviously, as long as I'm still alive, there is a future, but I don't feel like I'm going anywhere. Just in this stagnant kind of mess. I don't feel optimistic. I don't feel like there's any point to anything I'm doing. I'm actually doing a lot and being relatively productive, but I don't know why I'm doing the things that I do. I don't know why things. I mean, they must be important to me in some way, but I'm detached from that feeling of importance. Why am I trying to write more music? Why am I doing art? Why am I making videos? I don't actually know, but it there's some sense that I have to do it. Maybe there's some part of me that's like, yeah, I really want to do it, but I'm not connected to that. It's I'm really confused. It doesn't help that it's past midnight and I didn't sleep well last night. I've had stomach issues, and today was a weird day because of the lack of sleep, I think. And yeah, I've had more of that head squeeze feeling that I had on the day that I forgot the nasal spray. And I'm sort of between two nasal sprays. There's still a bit left in the stronger one, but I think I've sort of reached the limit of it. It said you're supposed to count how many sprays you do over time, and I didn't, because I didn't think I would be on it for very long, and I ended up having to stay on it. So yeah, it's probably past the number it was designed to administer, so maybe I should just use the the less intense one instead. But that's like 20 minutes of midnight rambling. I have no idea if I was coherent. Yeah, just like feeling detached and a bit confused and just kind of numb. Like, yeah, I've had some of the suicidal thoughts, but not in an upset way. And then I sort of look at how I was on camera for the Patreon thing and sort of being like, I remember it, but I kind of don't have the attachment to that version of me. And then I'm trying to remember, did I actually feel the things that I was portraying? I don't know, because I've gotten so used to just going into that video mode. Like yeah, it's hard for me to work out how much I believed the portrayal, or I don't know. That's why I don't like looking at past versions of me, because I just become so disconnected, and I think the longer time that passes between filming and posting, the worse it gets, because I don't want to have to watch myself, and watching this video is going to be hard when I'm more awake. Ugh. And because I only just posted a Patreon video, I should probably wait a few days so I don't overwhelm everyone with content all at once. That's how to be a good YouTuber. Yeah, anyway, so I don't even know if I'll post this, but I better just go to bed. Hey, I'm sorry, it's probably been ugly as well, because I'm like doing all this stuff with my face. But, you know, you can't stop me from polluting the internet with this, so there it is. Alright, good night and stuff. You know, if we pretend to be a good YouTuber, you should like all my stuff and whatever. Good night.